Welcome back. Good to see you. It's that time of week. We get to hang out with our good friend Matt Lee, and we're talking about maintenance, specifically summer maintenance on a home. A great time of year to knock off a huge checklist here.
Yeah.
Important things.
Important things. We're going to look at different parts of the house that need to get done from on the outside, that when you have 30-degree weather or 25-degree weather, it's the best time to do it because paint's going to stick, shingles are going to stick. It's going to, take care of itself better than it would if you had to do it in the middle of the winter.
And if you are going to be listing, these are things that you should really consider.
They're going to help you maintain value because they're going to protect your home. It's something that could help your house for value today. It could also help your value 2 years down the road. And the first one is shingles.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So if you have a roof that has started to have its lifespan kind of taken out, like basically the shingles are starting to curl, they're starting to space, you're going to get into, maybe not now, but the chance of ice damming when in the middle of the winter. If we get these winds that happened last year, we had 2 large storms that happened last year, and if those shingles have become brittle and they blow off and you can't see them, there's a chance of leaking. So then you're dealing with insulation, you're dealing with drywall, you're dealing with potential mold. So all of these things could be prevented by having that roof replaced. And that is the one thing that I always say, is that if it's getting to that point, you should really do it because you're actually going to save yourself money down the road.
Soffits and eaves.
Soffits and eaves I would do when you're doing the roof anyways. I mean, it is aluminum, so you can do it in the middle of winter. They don't want to, you know what I mean? It's one of these things that, like, if you're going to have shingles taken off, you're probably going to dent or, potentially bend an eaves trough. I would say that if they need to be done, do them now.
Anything made of wood, whether it's a house or a deck, pressure washing is important. How come?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking at first impressions, you have a house that has a chipped deck and the people are walking up to the house right now, the first thing that they're seeing is something that looks deteriorated. To me, that is something that has to be done before listing. It also helps you maintain the deck itself. Like if it is, we're in this weather where it will stick and it'll dry really quickly. No moisture is getting in there. That deck will last probably twice as long. So you're actually saving yourself money by having that pressure washed and then painted, just for the decks alone. The house is actually an interesting one. So like, say you have a wood-sided house, and whether it's Maybach or it's log or it's even just a regular wood siding. If you are getting to the point that there's starting to be some chipping, or if you have a sealant that maybe is just fading, you can actually potentially change the color if you want to. You could, and if you wanted to kind of change that color, say you want to go to a lighter color, maybe the trend has changed and we want to change that, you can do that now. Or you just maintain the actual integrity of the wood. If you don't do that, that wood is going to rot, and then it's going to cost you a large amount of money to have it replaced.
Let's talk about caulking, very important, especially when it turns to cold.
Yeah, so you can't caulk in the winter. I mean, so like basically you're looking at doors and windows that if they need to be replaced, replace them now, because then they can flash them and they can caulk them properly. I think that it's best to do it in the middle of summer. If they don't need to be replaced, but you're seeing cracking, do that now, because then you can actually have it cut away. It'll dry really quickly. No rain, nothing is going to get in, and it will stick properly. If you do it where all of a sudden you're getting into minus weather, it's not going to stick properly. You're going to get a bit of a joint that may not stick, and you could get dripping in behind, and then you don't know why.
Right.
So it's the things you got to take care of.
Can you do your driveway on your own?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to Canadian Tire, Home Depot, Rona, any of these places. You can get a big bucket of sealant and tar that will tar the joints. Again, it's something that either you need to have done yourself, or you can get a company to do it. I do highly recommend it, because if you've got these cracks that happen and water gets in and it freezes, it's going to pop your driveway and it is gone. So if you caulk it, you seal it, it's taken care of. First of all, it looks good. People are pulling in and they see it. It looks great, and it's also it's a good maintenance to take care of.
Preventative maintenance is what we're talking about here. Speaking of maintenance, stucco maintenance.
Yeah, stucco you got to do in the summer as well. Part of my house is actually stucco, and we had a woodpecker actually peck a hole in the stucco. Like, so like we had to have somebody come and repair it. I had never seen anything like this before, and I never knew anything about it. But they sometimes think it's a good spot, just like a tree. So, if there's any maintenance that needs to be done, if you had a crack or if you had a woodpecker or something that happens like that, you need to have these done. Or, if you want to have the house out exterior done and you want stucco done, you need to have it done in the summer.
Okay. Always great advice. We thank you so much, Matt Lee.
Thanks.
Watch out for those woodpeckers.
Thanks.
Real estate tips brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage.